Hello everyone, I'm Ollie from Bournemouth Meditation. Welcome to our second video of Is My Breathing Efficient? Now let us start by taking 3 deep breaths. And every inhale, hold the breath a little bit. And within the hold, what can you release? What can you let go? Exhale. And hold. And exhale. Okay, so is my breathing efficient? Video 2. If you haven't seen the first one, I recommend checking it out. The first clip, what we're interested in is where your breath is placed in the body. Our lungs, well, they're sort of smaller up here and bigger down here, but more than that, they're kind of like an upside down tree. So as I breathe in, the more I can let the breath drop down into the body, the more blood-rich capillaries I can access and transfer the wonderful gases that keep us alive. Should I come up here, there's a lot less up here. So in that respect, I'm breathing quite inefficiently, including all the muscles I'm using, etc. It's quite a festival of inefficiency breathing upwards. Anyway, that was the first video. This video we're interested in, if we think of efficiency and relate it to fitness, so my fitness in life. Yes, you can get fitness from exercise and it's incredibly valuable. It is impossible to make a body breathe as it would with exercise for a number of reasons. I'll share that in another video. But if we look at fitness as our body's capacity to use what it's got to oxygenate the cells in the body, then the more efficient that we can breathe, the better that is going to be for us in the long term. So there's going to be 2 tests we're going to do this morning. We'll get those done in the next, I don't know, probably about 4 minutes in total. And then after that, I'll give an exercise that can really help you improve your breathing efficiency. Essential stuff at this time, particularly with any respiratory disorders, COVID, all of that. Anything that is going to tax our system, if we can breathe more efficiently now, then you are going to be quids in, or in a better place at least, should anything challenging happen to your system. So to begin, first test, let's do, okay, so I have a clock. We're going to time a minute. Now, you might find this easier, I don't know, maybe pausing the video and then doing it and then therefore not worrying about what I'm doing. But you just want to time for a minute, and the exercise is how many breaths I take in that minute time. So a breath would be an inhale and an exhale. That's 1 complete cycle. Inhale, exhale, 2, etc. Okay, so let us begin. I'm going to put my clock here. Get yourself comfortable, lying, seated, standing, whatever you want to do. The minute starts now. And stop. Okay, how many breaths per minute were you doing? So if your breathing is anything over, I'm going to be a little bit harsh here, but anything over 10 breaths a minute, then you're breathing way too much more than you need. In fact, we tend to breathe, I think, 4 times the amount of oxygen than we actually need. So we're clearing out and breathing way too much. And in that way, if you can imagine you're a car, and if you're breathing anything over, say, 10 breaths a minute, then your car is in second gear going at about 40, 50 miles an hour. So it's like high revs, a lot of energy going in. And though you may be going at the same speed as you might as you went up the gears, you're burning a lot more fuel to do so. So anything above 10, then you're going to need to practice these exercises to see if you can get it down. What is an optimum? It really depends on the person, I guess, but I think people should be aiming for about 3 breaths a minute. Myself there, I did 3.12 breaths. The challenge is, obviously I can stretch the breath out. If I was just to watch someone else breathe, or even watch myself, particularly I wake up sometimes breathing a little bit faster than I normally feel like I'm breathing in the day at least. So I don't know, maybe my breaths are about 5 breaths a minute at the moment. It wasn't always there. So if you are over 5, but over 10 as well, don't worry about it so much. There's a lot you can do to make it better. So that is the first test. Second test. Okay, so for fitness, the other thing we want to be able to do is see how well we can hold our breath. Now, there will be people watching this that sort of understand breath and breathing techniques, and they'll be like, but hold on, that is carbon dioxide resilience. And so let me explain that a little bit. So carbon dioxide resilience at the back of your head, the brain stem, as you breathe in and exhale. This part, namely the pons, I think is the main part of the brainstem that manages breathing. This is our unconscious part of us that works to understand, you need to breathe a little bit more, breathe a little bit less. This part is reading hydrogen atoms, I think, in the blood, and as carbon dioxide increases, the hydrogen levels in the blood increases as well. And the body's like, carbon dioxide is rising, let's breathe a little bit faster. So if I can inhale and hold my breath, the longer I can hold my breath, it doesn't mean that the body is taking oxygen and using it very well. It really means more that, I can handle more and more carbon dioxide, and that's different to oxygen levels. But from a fitness perspective, you'll find the more that you can hold your breath, the more the blood is really going to be encouraged to take in more of the essential gases, and as when you come to breathe again, exhale them. So the more you can even, in fact, create blood cells that can carry oxygen, for example, at altitude. Our body produces erythrocytes, I think is the name for it. And the more we challenge our carbon dioxide, the more we can grow our oxygen diffusing abilities as well. So without boring you too much, being able to hold your breath and seeing how long we can hold our breath does give us an element of efficiency, like how efficient is my body at being able to breathe and respirate. So to do this, again, you don't really need a clock, though it is helpful in your mind to at least count. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, exhale, and you're going to exhale to about 10% of your normal, and then you hold. And then you hold and hold and hold, and we're counting, and we're just noticing how far can I count before I need to inhale. Now, aim to not be needing to do some super inhaling here. As soon as you find yourself like gasping, you've gone too far. We're just interested in when your body tells you it needs to breathe, and in that way we're less getting into carbon dioxide resilience. That's probably the easiest way to explain that. So, getting yourself ready. Find your position, and let's do a clearing breath to begin with. Inhale and exhale, and then just a gentle inhale, full exhale, 10%, and hold. Okay, so just let yourself breathe, relaxed. So how many seconds, how many counts at least, were you able to do? I'd like to do this again. Don't worry about my breathing, just be aware of your own. We'll go straight into this one. Inhale. Exhale to 10%. Hold. Okay. This is a calming breath. So as long as you don't go to the holding your breath, just go as long as you can. Over time, it's going to stretch, and in that way, you're going to improve your breathing. That is the exercise we're going to do in a minute. But in the meantime, what's your count, basically? So there's another way of doing this that is a little bit more real, I guess, which is to move. Inhale, exhale, and then you hold the breath at 10% and move. Walking's going to be better than just seated, moving your arms, but it all kind of has an impact on us because the body's burning. So if we want to understand the sort of fitness capability of the body, that circulation and increase on the breath in that way is the more efficient one. But just from the sake of understanding ourselves, this efficiency and being able to hold the breath out really shows us a lot. So where were you at? Should you be anything less than 5 seconds, 5 counts, I guess, then really the exercise we're going to do is going to be beneficial for you. It just means that your body is less efficient in capturing all of the air in the lungs, all the oxygen, clearing all the carbon dioxide, and in that way all the breathing muscles, everything's just a little bit small, and as the heart pumps that high carbon dioxide or deoxygenated blood into the lungs, it's just not clearing it as efficiently, and that pons at the back is going, oh, alarm bells. In terms of what would be the best amount, so I was tuning into mine was okay. I'd say it's about average for what we want to aim for, so I was about 17, maybe 18 counts. You want to be getting to, this is going to sound a little bit mad, but probably about 40. That would be the goal. So 40 counts, even moving, 40 counts, holding that breath out. Now allow the breath to, it doesn't have to like hold it out to 0% breath. You can just go to about 10%. Relaxed exhale. So I tend to find when I've done some exercise, done some breathing techniques, I can press it all the way up to, I don't know, maybe easily about 30, 35. It's the morning where I am, so my body, I sort of hyperventilate a bit when I sleep. So in that way, I really impact my breathing. So less efficient in the morning, for me, more efficient in the evening. That will impact you as well. So breathing techniques, what can we do with this? So there's a breath that I've written about. I really love it. It's a breath if you want to do, or if you're part of the freediving world, then it's kind of amended from that. I call it the deep dive. So to do this breath, what you're going to do is inhale, exhale, all the way, squeeze all the air out. Then I want you to inhale to just 40% of your capacity. 40% and hold. And all we're doing is holding, relaxing in the hold. Try not to sort of overly squeeze muscles that don't need to squeeze. As soon as your body says it's time to breathe, inhale. Now it's really up to you. For this, I'm going to go straight into the next one. But for those trying this at home, perhaps for the first time, give yourself maybe 30, 40 seconds break in between doing this, and then you sort of decrease the time until you're suddenly just doing inhale, exhale, hold, go, 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 inhale, exhale, hold, and you just keep going. And I recommend doing this for about 3, maybe 5 minutes. We won't do it today for that length of time. We'll do about 2 minutes of it. So get yourself comfortable. That is the breath. let us begin. Inhale, exhale, full exhale. Inhale to 40%. Pause, rest. So again, don't worry about my breathing. As soon as your body says it's time, if you have that timer or you're counting in your head, just take a note of what that time is. Rest for a period. So you may get little rushes. And if you're still going, keep going. But for those that are now breathing, again, notice there's always tension being held. So you can use this time just to relax the face, the shoulders, and the neck, and the belly, the everything. And then, if you are ready, next one. For those, when they're ready, inhale, exhale, exhale to just 0%, inhale to 40 only. And pause. So we feel a little bit of a lesser breath than your body's used to. Within that pause, you're just going as long as you can before the body tells you it needs to breathe. Signs it needs to breathe: swallowing. Other signs are sort of, you get this sort of jumping from the diaphragm. You've probably gone a little bit too far if that begins. But also anxiety begins to build up. If anxiety is building up, you've gone too far. As soon as your body says it's time to breathe, and return to natural breath. So that is it. That's all we'll do today. So what I recommend doing is practicing this. Inhale, exhale, 40% inhale, hold, and doing this for about 3 to 5 minutes. New to it, maybe do once a day. And then after that, 2 times a day, 3 times a day, and then you can do it as often as you like. Don't do it breathing. Pregnant. So I recommend not doing breath hold, or definitely not too strong a breath hold if you're pregnant. If you can imagine your wonderful baby inside, breathe your air. So if you're not breathing air, then their air begins to be limited. So they have a slightly different blood to us in terms of how they collect oxygen. It's better than ours. Better is maybe not a good word. The red blood cells are different, and they have a higher propensity to suck in oxygen than we do. So in fact, there's a whole other video, but as you hold your breath, you might be losing or building up carbon dioxide. They will as well, but their blood is more efficient than yours, and therefore they're likely just to take your oxygen than not. So in that way, I think very, very gentle breath holds of sort of, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 seconds is fine. But yeah, don't stretch the breath holds if you're pregnant. Not really fair on your poor little baby. So that would be it. 3 to 5 minutes, maybe twice, 3 times a day. And then you will notice all those tests we did today. So the breath hold, movement, that one. And then the other one that we did, which was counting the breath per minute. Almost forgot there for a second. Both of those are going to improve, and these exercises are less what we did in the first video. So those exercises are really great for efficient breathing, as these are slightly different ends of the spectrum for breathing efficiently. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. Any questions, then give me a shout. And also, if there's any questions you have about breath that would be good to do a video on, then I'd love to hear from you. So feel free to give us a shout, and we'll put something on here for you. Have a lovely rest of your day.